The summer of 2024, and I want to give you some music that I've been listening to this year in 2024 so far. We're about halfway into the year. We got the second half, and I'm sure there'll be other albums that'll come out that I'll be really into, but I want to share with you a couple albums that I've been really digging this year. Number one is Life Under the Sun EP by Military Gun. There you see it. And this thing is rips. The full length, this is like the downplayed version, almost like an acoustic version of some of the songs. And again, it's an EP. But if you like Military Gun, if you like kind of like chill, alternative rock, and an indie way, this album rocks. Very High Under the Sun is one of my favorite tracks on the song, and you should check it out if you like alternative rock. The full-length album, Life Under the Gun, is so freaking good. If you haven't listened to that album, check it out. It came out last year, but that's number one on my list. Number two is Rationale by Gutierrez. I'll put all these up. If you were a fan of Title Fight, then hopefully you know who Gutierrez is. It's Ned's side project, which I guess now is his full-time project because he's obviously not doing Title Fight. I don't know how to explain Gutierrez, but it's freaking cool. It's almost like, I don't know, like synth rock. I don't know how to explain it, kind of, but it's really good, and you should check it out. Rationale by Gutierrez. I Want to Be Invisible is the first song on the album, and that track rips. Check it out. I like the whole thing. It's very mellow. It's very easy to just turn on and just kind of go with the flow of it. Again, if you were a fan of Title Fight, this is kind of a great segue sort of back into that feel, especially of the last album they put out. So check it out. Gutierrez, super cool. All their albums really like. Future Islands' new album, people who aren't there anymore, really, really, really have been liking this album a lot. Check it out if you haven't. The song that I really like is The Tower, and this song rips. Like it so much. And hopefully you know who Future Island is. If you don't, then go check out their live performance on David Letterman that came out like 10 years ago. But it's really cool. They're like, I don't know, like a pretty generic New York, like hipster synth rock pop band. If you don't know who they are, if you've been living under a rock or something. But yeah, check out the album that came out this year in 2024, Future Islands, people who aren't there anymore. Next one is kind of, I've been really into country lately. There will be two country albums on this list. The first one is Charlie Crocket, $10 Cowboy. And man, I love this song. I love this album. My kids, they'll just be like, play $10 Cowboy, play $10 Cowboy. And they know the words. And if they like put on a cowboy hat, they'll say, look, I'm a $10 Cowboy. But this album is very cool. Very sort of like outlaw country, early Johnny Cash. Charlie Crocket has a really cool story. If you don't know him, please, please, please do yourself a favor and check out Charlie Crocket. There's a lot of really good country music happening. Charlie Crocket, Zach Bryan. The next one in country is Kacey Musgrave's new album, Deeper Well. I really love this album. It's so freaking good. Cardinal, the first one, can jam it all day, especially with like really good headphones and just really loud. It's sonically so good. It's produced so well. Really dig this album. There's several songs on there that I can name, but Cardinal is probably one of my favorites. There's certain bands that I can kind of only listen to, certain music that I'm only into. My wife's not, my kids are not. But Kacey Musgraves is like, me and my wife really dig it. We can listen to it in the car. Hopefully we'll be able to go see her this year. But yeah, if you have not listened to the new album, Deeper Well, please, please do so. All her albums are really good. This is who I think Taylor Swift really wanted to be, but she never really could, even though everybody loves Taylor Swift. Love this album. Super good. The next album I want to tell you about is instrumental, but imagine like if Quentin Tarantino and No Country for Old Men, the movie, which it doesn't have a soundtrack, No Country for Old Men, but if Quentin Tarantino and No Country for Old Men came together and they made instrumental music, that's what this is. Hermanos Gutierrez, Sonido, Cosmico. Super, super cool. Just two brothers, electric guitar, very Western, very Hispanic feeling. They have several albums, but this year's Sonido Cosmico came out. You need to check it out. Again, super good. I like listening to it a lot when I'm reading books, especially like I've told you guys before, if you're new to the channel, I'm reading a lot of Cormac McCarthy this year, and this soundtrack, these guys go hand in hand with his Western themes and his writing. So check it out. Last two albums I would want you to check out, especially in the summer. This is like a live record, I guess. The Born in the USA tour, 84-85, Bruce Springsteen. I freaking love Bruce Springsteen. I don't know, something happened to me in my 30s where like I just wanted like old American rock, and Bruce has done something to my heart that no one else could. And so this live tour, 84-85, is super cool. The Cover Me is super good. Dancing on Fire, he has like an intro story that he talks about his family. Tugged at your boy's heart. So check it out. Born in the USA, 84-85. And then the last two records, I'm going to give you one more just because these two are super good, are hip-hop records. The first one is Vince Staples' Dark Times. This is going to probably be, unless something crazy comes out later the year, this is probably going to be my top album of 2024. I love Vince Staples. I think I liked him as a person and like an interviewee on podcasts before I really liked his music. I think he's so funny. I think he's super sarcastic. I think he's a genius. And then through listening to a lot of his interviews and being on podcasts, I was like, dude, I have to like force myself to be into Vince Staples. And over the last, I would say 3 albums, including this one, like he fully won me over. And I'm a Staples head. I'm a Stapleton. Chris Stapleton, Vince Stapleton, Vince Staples, they should do a tour. Chris Stapleton and Vince Staples. That would be really funny. Anyway, Dark Times. Every single track is fire. Black and Blue, Shame on the Devil. I freaking love this album. And again, maybe I'll make another list at the end of the year, and I think this is going to be my #1 album of the year. Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips. I've never been into Schoolboy Q, never really dug him or listened to his music. I would listen, you know, I give everything a chance, but just never really did it for me. Blue Lips is freaking fire. The production on this is crazy. Thank God for Me, I think, is one of my favorite songs. Give this record a chance if you have not. One of the big records I'm looking forward to this year, I think comes out next month. Oh, I gotta go. Baby's crying.